Okay, we're going to continue down on the ES short trade going on. Entered here at the end of the day on 8/19. It's continued on. We reviewed down to this point 1 week ago. Now we're at another level of support, another zone, and high potential for at least some kind of a small bounce. And in fact, it's guaranteed because this is actually today. So this is live and it has had a small bounce so far. So on the daily chart, you can see bounce around a little bit within this area. We will now turn to the 39 minute. 39 minute, there's the high, that's the original entry area. And now we have to decide what we're going to do as we're bouncing along. I'll zoom in down here. As you can see, it certainly has held those zones, respected the edges, perimeters. We have to decide how serious that is. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to start by going in and reassessing the potential areas of the bounce within that leg down. That way, as it returns back up, we will have decision points. But in general, moving the stop loss down probably to somewhere in this area right here is probably the plan. That way you keep as much profits as possible. And if you're wrong and you get knocked out, that's okay. You can always get back in. So, for example, let's start here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start drawing. For example, here I've drawn this one in this location, and it's on top of this one that is already, what I'm going to say is not used up, but we're refining into the future. And I'm going to then go back, and normally I would delete these, but for the life of these videos, I'm going to leave them on and shorten them up to the point where the new one takes over. That takes a little bit more time than we want to do on a video, so I'm going to draw the new ones, then I'll go back, shorten up the old ones while I'm on pause, and then show you what that looks like. So we're drawing one there. We can probably legitimately draw one anywhere. Yeah, this is a good one. We'll just take all of this spot here all the way down like that as a new one. Coming up to there. Now we are looking backwards. Oh, it's interesting. This whole area is kind of consolidating. We could, for example, do something like this. Could do that. Could do something like this. We could even take into account this whole section here. It's a little bit of a tough call because there's so much going on there. But when in doubt, you can. Doesn't matter if the zone is a little bigger than you would normally like it to be, because we're gonna take into account all that. We're gonna leave that right there. It's a potential zone. Coming up through here, the interesting thing right in that area is there is still one right in this area the same. It's just a little bigger. So we will make it new down there like that. Up here where this old one was, we are probably talking about something like that. And these two are the original top. Let's see what we can do here. If there's anything worth talking about here. Is right here you've had this strong reversal right there, downward. So it's probably There's definitely something going on there. Not a lot in between there. There are things in that area, and there's definitely one right there. What I can't decide here is if there's two small ones or one large one. I'm going to go back to the daily and just look at this upper area here and see. Yeah, let's draw the daily in like this. Oops. Draw it consistently. And we're going to change that to daily template, the blue. Now we'll go back in here and see if there's any refinements. For example, this is reasonable. And not so much. Yeah, the top of that is pretty good. In fact, this one is still very, very similar, but it's with all of this in there, it's actually bigger. So we're going to do it this way. We're going to take into account that whole piece right there. Okay, now I'm going to go back and I'm going to shorten up all the existing ones, but I'll put the video on pause for that. Okay, now, so what I've done is I paused the video, I went down, shortened the old ones. For example, here's there's a gap, the new one starts. There's a gap, the new one starts. There's quite a bit going on right in this area. So, you know, when it gets to this, as it comes back to this area, whenever that may be, you know, whether it's in a week or a year, it doesn't even matter. There's a lot to watch there. Then we've got a couple of key spots here, 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 and those two. I've left the original daily on that showed this bottom because this isn't done yet. We're still definitely using this, so I'm going to leave that one go. I'm going to switch back to the daily chart now so you can see what that looks like on the daily. And that's what the new bars or the zones look like on the daily, going all the way up. So now we have to wait and decide how strong this bounce is going to be. Do we bounce back to any of these levels, or do we just meander around and continue down farther? And what could be in that case, let's go back and see some of the potential lower areas. Right, so probably down in this 3,050 range, you know, this is definitely the next major one. I suppose the 3268 is a major one, but anywhere in here is possible. I suspect a little bounce, maybe several along the way before we get down to that far. If it does, the key right here is this is what is being viewed as a major low. So if it gets through this area, then you'll be talking about looking at these areas, not until. All right, that's all I got on the ES for today.